Pope John Paul II, in Latin, Johannes Paulus II, in Italian, Giovanni Paolo II, was born Karol Joseph Wojtyla on 18 May 1920. He was elected Pope in 1978. John Paul was the first non-Italian Pope in 455 years, and the first from a Slavic country. I was a freshman at Central Catholic High School when the news broke out that they had elected a Polish Pope. Little did I realize what a profound effect this man would have on my life. My first impression of this Pope was his youthful charisma, and soon learned that he was in the theater as a youth. Before I graduated, John Paul was shot in St. Peter's Square in 1981 by a Turkish gunman. John Paul recovered, resumed his work, and forgave his would-be assassin. The longest-reigning pope in modern history, John Paul II took his message on the road, visiting 129 countries on 104 trips and logging more than 700,000 miles in a papacy that lasted more than 27 years. One of those trips was to my hometown of San Antonio, Texas, where my future wife and I had a chance to celebrate the Eucharist with him and 300,000 of our fellow San Antonians. I remember the excitement of the visit, and on the night before the Mass, our entire youth group of St. Vincent de Paul gathered at my house, and in the wee hours of the morning, we hiked through the gently rolling hills of Westover. That day was a blur, and there was absolutely no shade whatsoever, but we had lots of time to rest and take in the spectacle. All this happened in 1987, and a quarter century later, as I find myself in formation to become ordained, the reach of his papacy continues to touch my life. John Paul published the Catechism of the Catholic Church in 1982, and Deb and I have taken several courses which use this book as our primary text. In my moral theology class, we studied in depth Veritatis Splendor, or the Splendor of the Truth, which is an encyclical by Pope John Paul II. It expresses the position of the Catholic Church regarding the fundamentals of the Church's role in moral teaching. This encyclical is one of the most comprehensive and philosophical teachings of moral theology in the Catholic tradition. Finally, in both our philosophy and theological classes, Fides et Ratio, or Faith and Reason, is an encyclical promulgated by Pope John Paul II on 14 September 1998. It expressed a central tenet in Catholic thinking, that faith and reason are like two wings on which the human spirit rises to the contemplation of the truth. I leave you with one of my favorite quotes of this man. The future starts today, not tomorrow. Pope St. John Paul II, pray for us.